Yo, welcome back to the Daily Grind Podcast Season 3. Today I have your boy, Elow The Great. And yeah, tell us about yourself, man.
What's up, baby? It's your boy, Little Great. Hey, shout out to my man Jaytee for putting me on the podcast. Hey, this is actually the first one, right? The first video one.
First video, see how it comes out, bro. Yeah, man, tell us how you started doing music, artist.
Uh, Man, I've been in music for a long time. I want to say when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Um, growing up and going to school. Doing music. I started out in choir, so
yeah.
as a vocalist. Um, Eventually, growing up, I ended up playing. Learning how to play the guitar. Um, Becoming a singer songwriter, learning poetry and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
eventually just like making my own music. And I started out in the acoustic world as a singer songwriter, and then I started getting noticed, and I ended up joining like a local cover band, and we were doing pretty good for a couple of years. So um, I had a tour manager. And that was kind of my first time to ever get a taste of bad business as an artist, right? But it wasn't myself. It was like a group of us in the band.
Okay.
But man, I just like I said, a couple years later, just decided to develop my style and rap and hip hop. Took myself to school. Um, Built my own studio, of course.
Oh,
And
you, what type of, like, how much you charge for studio time or for anybody, like, wanting to, contact you for anything or.
honestly, I usually just record myself. I really don't try to publicize recording for others because some artists kind of they become backseat drivers. But there are a lot of other artists that I've, invited to the studio to come perform. I mean, not perform, but come record. And, I mean, normally, like, the standard rate for me is like $50 an hour. You know what I mean? But I typically, try to encourage the artist, hey, if you're going to come through and record, make sure you have everything down. You're ready to go because, I'd hate to see you being here for like 3 or 4 hours and not realize that $50 goes up quick.
Mhm.
So, but ultimately, like I said, I really just do it to record myself and my music because I already know how much recording in the studio costs. So which is why I put in a little money in my own investment, went back to school and built my own studio so that way I could focus on what I wanted to do. And so, but yeah, for several years now, man, professionally, past 5 years, you know, I debuted it as Elow The Great in 2020, and it's been great, man. You know,
Do you have any other artists named Elow The Great that you like to share?
uh, I mean, Jips. Do you say any other artist names?
Artist names you like have before Elow The Great, or you always been Elow The Great.
Oh, before, I want to say back when I was in like high school, I was with my friends and we'd freestyle. They used to call me Easy E.
Easy.
Easy E. I used to have Trey was another one.
Trey.
TRE Trey, Lil Trey. Um, E Money. Spoons was another one.
Uh,
Spoons got that nickname got picked up when I was living in like Georgia and Tennessee area, and I didn't really tell anybody my name, so I was wearing some bracelets at the time that were like forks and spoons that I made myself.
mhm.
And I was young, bro. I was like a teenager back then. But that's how they kind of identified. It's like, oh man, don't even worry about it. I'm just gonna call you Spoons. So it's like, all right, cool. So that kind of stuck for like a couple of years.
Yeah, your friends usually are the ones that give you right most of the time. So
That is just random ass people.
yeah, like me and my friend calls me Jaytee, and that's how I became Jaytee. Well, Trillezzt Jaytee.
Yeah.
Uh, how did you like? What made you start like making music? Like, what really inspired you to do that?
Um. Well, I'm Filipino at blood, right? So
Yeah.
A lot of Filipinos are just generally musically, um, or just generally interested in music a lot, you know. But how I started, like I said, man, I started. I have a different diverse of listening to music, right? From rock to blues, jazz, contemporary to rock. I mean, I already said rock to rap, hip hop, trap, R&B, world music, stuff like that. Like I have a diverse ear for different types of sounds. Um, but as far as focusing on what I wanted to do, like I said, I went from the alternative rock scene to hip hop, you know, R&B, becoming a rapper and stuff. So, but I would say a couple of years now. You know what I mean? Like it's just been I just been doing it for a while. You know.
What type of like what are your messages you give in your songs? Like any type of like messages you'd like to give out to people your songs, or you just do it for fun,
Oh,
energetic or whatever?
no, like some people do it for fun, right? Like some artists, they'll do it for fun. They'll go in the booth and just like cut up with their friends and stuff, or they'll make songs that are like very OP, you know, like get real gangster and shit, like talk about. But me, like I have some songs that talk about my kids. You know what I mean? Talks about my past. I also have songs that are just like, hey, you can't fuck with me no more. You know what I mean? Stay on my ground type songs. I also have songs that talk about relationships. You know what I mean? I really try to make songs that are relatable, you know, but in my own form of fashion. You know what I mean? Um, like I said, man, like just a different type of artist. You know, like you listen to all the rest of the underground artists and up and coming artists in Houston, um, and what you hear on the radio now, it's like, geez. And I don't mean to be I don't mean to sound judgmental or anything, but they all sound the same at the end of the day. You know what I
Sound like-
mean?
They all sound
Yeah,
like the vibe and shit. Everything's the same nowadays.
everything's the same, bro. Like the rap style's the same.
You just got to
And
be
like,
yeah
yeah,
nowadays.
like like if you see a group of dudes together, yeah, I guarantee you all five of them rap, and all five of them rap the exact same way. You
Yeah,
know
they
what I
all
mean?
sound like the same cat, bro. Like they're all
All just doing the same category, and it's like I like to be in different categories. I like to be diverse because if you can be diverse, then you can be open to different types of music. You know what I
yeah
mean? Like you can't say that you can't have rock music without country music. You know what I mean? You can't have hip hop music, rap music without rock music.
yeah
You know, without the blues, without jazz, without any of that stuff, because all of this stuff came from something, came from the form of music. You know what I mean? Our generational development turned the music into the direction of where it's going now. You know, so
yeah. And you told me you were in a band back then, and how did that work? What made you like switch to hip hop?
like I said, man, I've always been a lyrical person when it comes to writing. You know,
Yeah.
and it's just dealing with like several people besides yourself in a band is a hard thing. It's not really a hard thing to do, but it's very hard to manage because you have different personalities. You obviously have different schedules, you
Mhm.
know. And at that time we were young, so we didn't have no children. At least from from my side, but everyone else, they were good.
That's,
But yeah,
bro, that's
but
fuck.
at that time, dude, we were doing music, and there's been so many issues where we try to link up together, like, hey, we got a show tonight, and then old dude didn't practice his part. Like, you had 2 weeks to practice your part. Because you have we had a guitarist, we had a
Yeah.
drummer, we had a bassist, a lead singer, a backup. I was a lead singer, and I had a backup vocalist. Right, so each person in the band had their certain part that they had to do in each song, and that's kind of why it becomes hard to manage sometimes because even when you have a manager, that manager is still not just talking to everyone in a group. They're talking to everyone individually still. So communication isn't really streamlined as what you think. But um, it, when it comes to doing all of that compared to switching from hip hop, man, like having to deal with all these different people, not being able to show up on time,
Yeah.
you know, forgetting your part or not practicing your part, or you're in the bathroom doing coke, you know, or
That's
too you get too hammered, too drunk, taking too many shots before the show, and then now it's like really on top
all,
of the embarrassment, on top of the unprofessionalism, you know what I mean? And these are paid gigs. These are paid gigs.
and they're fucking it up already.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like we're going in there to practice. We're actually there because we're getting paid. You know what I mean? And they're not taking it serious. So for me, at a certain point,
Remove them.
I had to remove myself because the whole scene itself at the time,
Yeah.
it just wasn't where I wanted to be.
And you don't have
I
to worry. And then in a group, you have to worry about other people. You can't just worry about yourself, bro. Like you have to worry
no,
about sure they're on the same page and shit, right?
yep, different ages.
Yeah.
I mean, like relatively the same age, but everybody's got different lives. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And when you have two other members that live in Houston, it makes it even extra hard because now they're driving, so you really have to make sure they get paid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You have anything you're working on right now, like music wise?
Yeah, I just released an album called Karma.
Karma.
Yep.
Is it good?
So go check it out. It's on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music,
Yeah.
YouTube, Amazon Music. Um, I also dropped a single right after that called "Betting on Me." Um, got a release. Got I have a lot of released projects right now, not under me but affiliated with me, like DJ Loke, Chop Stars.
Yeah.
Got some songs released through them or through him specifically. Um, got a single with Yazzie Nicole, "Gotta Cut You Off." Just got two new music videos released recently for singles 5 out of 6.
Yeah. I
And
got on right now.
the what?
They got a lot of stuff going on right now. That's
I
good.
have a lot of stuff going on, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm independent. At the end of the day, it's that's another thing is staying independent. You know what I mean? Like your distribution, your distro is great, whomever you have it with, but it's better to be independent and still move around whenever you want to versus having other people to tell you to do it. You know what I mean?
What are some of the artists like you look up to? Like top three artists, let's say.
Oh, my inspirational artists.
Influencers, yeah. Sorry.
Um, Top three.
Well, it don't have to be top three. Just name a couple.
Okay, does it have to be a certain category or just any top three artists?
You know what? Let's do hip hop since we're in hip hop right now.
Okay, okay.
That for right now. Unless you want to do rock, we can do that, or metal.
I had to be specific.
All right, do hip hop. And now I want to know about rock too.
All right, for hip hop, I would say my inspiration in music, who inspires me in hip hop, my top three. Um, Eminem, of course, right?
Yeah,
Of course,
right there, everybody. Yeah.
yeah, right there. I mean, that's always going to be a must. I grew up in that generation, so that's always going to be a forgiven, like a given for me. He's always going to be goated. Um, who else?
Russ
Russ, he's getting up there,
picking
and
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's already there. He's selling out big shows. I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
saying that's one of my, because he's an independent artist.
yeah.
And Joyner Lucas.
Oh yeah, you did. Didn't you do a feature with him? Like, you know what I'm saying, a remix?
Yeah, I got a remix feature with Joyner Lucas. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
on YouTube actually. But maybe Eminem, Joyner Lucas, and then the third one.
And I was gonna say, those are some good choices. I was gonna say, after all those years of like being in the music industry, like, what like, you know, motivates you to do more? Like, what like basically help you, or like, no, like what you noticed about doing music? Like, what you noticed about doing music? Like, you know, different things you ever done, whatever, anything specific. You know what I'm saying?
Like what? Like good things or weird things or what I've done, and
Let's do the good things, I guess. We could do the good things, and then we'll do the weird things after.
so what are the good things that have come out of music?
Like doing it over years, like any like thing that moved you up, like what have you seen? Shit. Yeah,
I mean, networking.
networking.
Networking is like the biggest thing that's gotten me very far,
Yeah,
right? And not only my light's glitching out, but not only just networking,
yeah.
but hold on,
That's cool. You good? You good? You see, let me. I'm gonna check to see. If got some more questions on here.
that's glitching out.
Basically, it was.
Oh, I'll switch it off.
Let me see. What was I say?
All right.
Basically, I was gonna say. What the question I was trying to say? What is the big you face as an artist? That's what I was trying to say. I didn't think of it right on the spot.
What is the biggest what?
Challenges you've
What
made
is
as a
the
like.
biggest artist is as a challenge
Yeah.
challenges
What's the
as an
biggest
artist?
challenge you faced as an artist?
What challenges have I faced as an artist?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What type?
Um,
Good or bad, bro? Like any? Well, basically bad, I guess. Like
dude, lots, man, a lot of bad situations.
real.
As an independent artist or just as an artist in general, trying to network with people, you have to be on a certain level of trust, and it's really hard to trust a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
They're either going to scam you or try to take you for your money because you're nobody to everybody, right? I've dealt with a lot of those people. I've gained a lot of great relationships, great friends along the way. Great, lots of opportunities, man. Like performing in front of 10,000 people. I've even performed in front of no people. You know what I mean? Like, but that's the thing is like,
You never know who's watching though.
you never
Like
know who's watching, man. Like one person could be watching you, but that one person behind that's filming on that phone, that one person could have like a million people watching you on their live stream.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Or filming you and reposting it and sharing it. So a lot of people don't understand that. Don't get bummed out because there's only like two or three people performing. You know what I mean? Like go all out. Treat it like it's your last. Treat it like it's your first. Treat it like it's like you need to go ham, go hard. You know what I mean? That's why I be hyping you up too. I mean, like, hey man, when you go perform, fucking hype it up, bro. Let's do it. Because
rock
when you
song.
when you show that energy that you have it, bro, it shows the passion that you got it. But dealing with some people, man, like especially like coming up early in the game and you got to contact these people who you don't know, and
Mm-hmm.
then like, yo, how much is it for a slot? And they'll be like, oh, it's 200 or 250 for 5 minutes. You don't know. You don't know the.
How
You're
many
just
people?
getting into it. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what the right thing is. You don't know what the right set is. You don't know what. And once you start learning the right people, start kind of learning the lingo, learning the business a little bit, then you'll start realizing that some people aren't really taking you serious and some people are.
So I'm
You
just there for money. You know what I'm saying?
know?
For sure.
Yeah. A lot of good things. A lot of weird things though.
Yeah.
Oh, like so I had this. Remember like a few months ago. I wasn't, but DJ Helix was on the team or whatever. Well,
Yeah.
what was weird was like the first night I ever brought him out to kind of like, because he was like, man, I haven't done this in a while. I'm trying to get out. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I'll let if you want, you can can I just hang out with me a little bit, and see what it's like. And the first night, I kid you not, bro, he was trying to kiss Lamelli's friend there, bro, in front of my
Damn.
wife, like in front of my wife. And I'm like, dude, so I'm not really saying anything at the moment,
It's
but
just weird thing.
it's weird. You know what I mean? I'm all eating chips.
I got too, bro. I just ain't trying to eat in front of a cat. I like it. Okay.
It's all good.
Everybody, we're eating all together. Fuck.
But not a lot, man.
Huh?
Like I said, there's a lot of people out there, man, that are going to be out there to get you for your money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that really will mess with you. You know what I mean? Work with you. And those are the ones you really got to stay connected with, is the ones that are working with you. You have great relationships with. The main thing is just going out there and putting yourself out there, networking. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because if you don't put yourself out there, nobody's gonna know about you.
A lot of people just think that just posting music is gonna make you famous, or you put a lot of albums, but you don't promote it. You just think you're gonna pop up out of nowhere, but you have to perform, you have to promote, you have to, a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's
Look,
hard, bro.
man, I want to say maybe one out of a million chance somebody's gonna get picked up because they didn't do 100% of what you and I think they should have been doing.
Yeah,
Right? Somebody's gonna be like, "Man, I like that one song, and I'm gonna invest in it, and we're gonna blow you up, and you'll have a one-hit wonder." You know how many people go through that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
not like as in you and me, but there's been a lot of artists that were one-hit wonders, and they didn't last. You know what I mean? And so when you get to a point, it's like you want to keep making music where all of your music is like everybody wants to listen to all of your tracks versus I just like that one song he did.
yeah.
You
Like,
know what I mean?
hit wonders. That's how I be. Like, oh, I only heard you from this song. But that's the song everybody heard.
Yeah, like, oh, that's how I hear her. Like, I've never heard of this song. Who is this? Like, oh, that's blah 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 blah. Oh, well, I've only heard him from this song. He got it. And so people don't, when you don't promote yourself like you're supposed to, it does leave the wonder of what is this guy like. But at the same time, people really don't know about you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's a good and bad, right? Because some people like mystery. They want to go out and figure out who this person is. Like MF Doom, R.I.P. MF Doom. Like he he was a very mysterious artist. Nobody really knew who he was, and even till now, people don't even know who he is, and they think he kind of like faked everything, but
it's just
because of how he is, But it's just stuff like that. Like people like mystery, but some people are just like, no, I really want to figure out who this person is. I'm gonna listen to all of their music, from old to new,
what he does. You know what I'm saying?
huh?
He has just to see if he has any other like good songs or just that song. You know what I'm saying? You never know. There could be another one hit wonder, but it's just that one wasn't promoted. Or,
Like me, I have some of my old songs from when I started in rap still on my Spotify,
yeah,
just to remind me of my progression, like from what I sound like then compared to what I sound like now. Like, because you could tell, oh man, that mix back then was trash. That sucked compared to, oh shit, this song's fucking banging. You know what I mean?
yeah. But everybody progresses over time.
Huh?
You gotta start somewhere because everybody progresses over time. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Quality,
but
who you work with, everything, bro.
Yeah. It's almost like skating. Like when you're skating with a person, like in skateboarding, if you skate by yourself, you're only progressing on your own. You're
Yeah,
learning on your own. So that could be fast, that could be slow, depending on how you learn. But when you're with like another person who's skateboarding with you, you're skating around town, you're learning these tricks together, you're practicing together, you eventually progress to the same skill set, you know? And then there's ones where you can be skating with five groups of people, and now your progression went way up because you're surrounded by more elite people. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's kind of like in music, right? Like, let's say in music you have a group of three dudes, right? And those
yeah,
three dudes go to all the shows, they do songs together, they rock the shows together. But then an A&R is like, I only want to talk to one of y'all because I only like one of you. And then now you're like in a conundrum, like, oh man, there's three of us, but there's only two. That's when the personalities get involved. That's where, oh, I want to get paid for this and blah, blah, blah. How does he get this? And people get jealous.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it starts turning crazy and stuff, you know?
'Cause everybody feels like they gotta be the top. You know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
not be the top, but you can push that person up. You know,
Yeah.
I- together.
Well, good example, right? Like Nelly and the Lunatics. Before Nelly became Nelly, Country Grammar, they were all the Lunatics crew. But once Nelly started debuting himself as Nelly, the
Mm-hmm.
whole crew from the Lunatics pushed him. They supported him, went with him, were on stage with him, performed with him, you know. But that whole group of people really pushed him to a higher platform. Once he got to that platform, then he was able to bring his whole team with him because now he had that opportunity.
Opportunity now for sure.
Yeah, because he had that big ass opportunity to bring him. But a lot of people don't see it unless they see the opportunity coming first. They see the opportunity. They're like, what can I benefit off of this from him, the guy, from this guy? You know, that's another thing is bad experiences is having people feed off of you, but they feed off of you too much.
Yeah,
This Saturday is going to be a charity mixer in Houston, so you're going to be there, right? You're going to try to be
Saturday.
there.
This Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right. So me and Jaytee will be there in presence. It'll be hosted by LaMele Management, my manager, and her group and stuff like that. So they're throwing this big old charity mixer. Hoping to at least invite a good crowd there, because it's going for a good cause. But other than that, man, like I said,
Yeah.
y'all can follow me on Instagram, follow me on all the platforms, listen to the music, watch the music videos, and just stay tuned in, man. You know?
Yeah, man. He's gonna be a. I mean, he's someone to look at, bro. Because I see what he's been working on, bro. Like he has a good team, bro. He has a lot of artists. He works a lot of connections, good connections. So yeah, he has a lot of good music. So yeah, if anything, yeah, follow him, Spotify, listen to his music, and yeah, well, thank you for having you at the Daily Grind podcast, the first,
Yeah, the
live.
first live video daily grind podcast.
Yeah, all right. Thank you for having y'all at the Daily Grind podcast. Yeah, take care. Peace. Stay
All
true.
right.
All right, man.